Take Strong's Concordance, I just go down there and count how many times it was found. For some reason, I thought that was impressive. It doesn't seem so impressive to me now, but anyway, ever how many times it was found. And then you can, I have another friend who's a preacher, and he memorized, it's got a phrase out here like it says, it tells you part of the verse, it doesn't say the whole thing, like Luke 16:30, them from the dead, they will repent. I say repent, and you shall forgive him. Repent and be baptized, every one of you. And he would memorize that line, and he would quote those lines instead of quoting the whole verse. Anyway, it's very helpful. And as far as I know, there's not another concordance other than Strong's that does it exactly like this. There are three primary concordances. There's Cruden's Concordance, Young's Concordance, and Strong's Concordance. And we had a professor in graduate school, and he said, Strong's is for the strong, Young's is for the young, and Cruden's is for the crude. So, anyway, yes, sir.
Just got to make one little comment about both of those two books. One of the good things for us that are older is the English word that you have to know is King James in most cases. So we all grew up listening to King James being quoted, so if you want to, it's very familiar to us to do that.
Right. Strong's uses the King James. I believe Strong's has also come out with one other translation, but that's very helpful. The next one I want to mention, anybody have any questions about that? Or one's actually probably one better than this one. The next book I want to suggest is an interlinear Greek-English New Testament. I have 3 or 4 of them in my office. I just brought the New American Standard Bible, Interlinear Greek-English New Testament. What this book does is it gives you different ones do different ways. But this one, for instance, has the book of Romans. I'm at chapter 3, verse 23. In the left-hand column, there is the verse, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. That's what the New American Standard says. Over in the right-hand column, there is the Greek written out, and then under the Greek word, there is the English word. That's why they call it interlinear. The Greek words and the English words. And it gives you the exact translation. In Romans 3:23, for all sinned and come short of the glory of God. Literally, it doesn't give you the literal translation here like it does in some, but all of these have sinned and come short of the glory of the God, is the way it says it. But it gives you the Greek translation and then the English translation. And they have all different, there's a New American Standard, King James, New King James, NIV, many different interlinears. And I would recommend, if you want to continue study, to get you an interlinear. And probably on, again, on Amazon or Bardell's or somewhere like that.
King James at the Half Price bookstore at about half price.
Okay, that's good. All right. Now let me mention just 2 or 3 others. These are we're getting a little bit. This will get a little bit deeper. This is called an analytical Greek New Testament. This book has the complete text of the Greek New Testament, and it has an analysis of each word in the Greek New Testament. And they give you even a chart, and it tells you what the letters that are underneath the word stand for. And it tells you if it's a noun or a verb or an adjective. It tells you if it's a pronoun. It tells you if it's a noun, what case, nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, vocative. It tells you first, second, or third person, and tells you singular or plural. This is sort of a crutch. If you want to learn how to parse a word or learn the information about a word, it's a very helpful tool. Then there is what is called the Exegetical Dictionary of the New Testament. If I'm not mistaken, there are 5 different volumes. I have 2 of them in my library, and they give alphabetical listing of the Greek words, and it gives definitions of those words and also scriptures where those words are found. It's also very helpful. Exegetical dictionary. That's not on your list, by the way. Exegetical dictionary. One that is on your list is the Dictionary of New Testament Theology. There are 3 volumes. This is Colin Brown, 3 volumes, and a lot of information here. You have to know a Greek word. Look up the Greek word, and it tells you the meaning of that Greek word. In classical Greek, it tells you the meaning of that Greek word as it was used in the Old Testament, and it tells you the meaning of the Greek word in the New Testament. And a very, very helpful tool. The standard, pretty much the standard dictionary of the New Testament, again, this is similar to that, is called Kittle's Theological Dictionary of the New Testament. This is a 10-volume set. And I believe every preacher ought to have this volume right here, this 10 volume, because it really looks good on your bookshelf. Not many will use it, but it looks good on your bookshelf. The next tool I want to mention is Word Pictures of the New Testament by Dr. A.T. Robertson. Dr. Robertson, this is 6 volumes. He takes all of the books of the New Testament, and in every chapter, he gives you key words or phrase that is found in a verse, and talks about, does like a Greek word study on those words. And it's very, very helpful to me. I use Robertson personally as much as any Greek tool that I use. And by the way, this can be found on the internet now. You don't have to buy this. You can find it free. You can find it at, I'm going to tell you three suggestions on internet websites, study sites. The first one is called crosswalk.com. Crosswalk.com. Do I have a pen? Yes, sir. How about a pencil? Crosswalk.com is a study site. There are a lot of different commentaries there. There's also exegetical studies, and A.T. Robertson's word studies can be found there. And all you have to do is put in the verse you want to look up and click on a box that says Study Tools, and it'll take you to A.T. Robertson, and you can read what he has to say about it. And again, personally, I use A.T. Robertson more than any other Greek tool that I use. He is a Greek scholar par excellence. Another site is called Study Light. Study Light, as in light.org. It's another site similar to crosswalk.com. And another one is called ebiblestudy.org. eBibleStudy. And those 3 sites are simply study sites that will be of help to you. Okay, before we, I want to do one last word study before we close our class. But before we do this word study tonight, let me just briefly go over one more time the 5 noun case study. We're talking about the function, the 5 cases of a noun. They are, well, let's see if we can name